Okay, so we're diving deep today into something pretty cool. You sent over this article called Earning the Language of Aviation. And it got me thinking about how pilots talk.
Yeah.
It's a very specific kind of English
Right.
that's used all over the world.
Yeah.
And I think it'd be really interesting to figure out why it's structured the way it is.
It's uh it's fascinating when you think about how many different languages there are spoken all over the world.
Right.
For aviation to have this one very particular way of communicating,
Yeah,
it really shows you just how important it is.
absolutely. And I think that's what really gets me is imagine you're up in the air, thousands of feet,
Oh,
or
yeah.
even on the ground, taxiing these huge planes around.
Mm-hmm.
Clear communication. It's not just a good idea. It's like the most important thing,
Oh,
right?
absolutely. Yeah. Miscommunication up there
Yeah,
it could be disastrous.
exactly. So that's kind of what we're going to dig into is this universal code that
Yay.
pilots use. And the article really breaks it down.
Exactly. And, it's all about eliminating any ambiguity
Right.
that might come up from pilots having, different native languages or
Yes.
even just different accents.
Yeah,
The whole point is to make sure that everybody on the radio understands each other perfectly.
perfectly. Yeah. And one of the key parts of that is the phonetic alphabet,
Mm-hmm.
which the article talks about.
Yes.
And it's not just about using any word that starts with that letter. It's
Well,
like a
yeah.
specific set of words for each letter.
Exactly. Yeah. It's very carefully chosen.
Right.
And, instead of just saying B, a pilot will always say Bravo.
Right.
A is Alpha.
Yeah.
Z is Zulu.
Right.
And they chose these words because they're clear,
Yeah.
they sound distinct, and they're less likely to be confused.
Especially over a crackly radio.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, even with background noise,
Yeah.
you don't want somebody to think you're saying B when you're actually saying V or P.
Exactly. And it's amazing to me how universal it is.
Yeah.
The article mentions that whether you're flying in Albany or Zurich,
Right.
civilian pilots, military pilots, everybody uses this same phonetic alphabet.
Yeah, it's the standard all over the world.
It's incredible. And it's
It really is.
to get a sense of just how complete this system is,
Sure.
maybe we should just go through the whole phonetic alphabet.
Absolutely. Yeah, let's
So
go.
the article lays it out.
Okay, so A is Alpha.
Okay.
B, Bravo, C, Charlie. D, Delta. E, Echo, F, Foxtrot. G, Golf, H, Hotel. I, India.
Wow.
J, Juliet. K, Kilo L.
Oh, hey.
M, Mike. N, November. O, Oscar P, Papa Q, Quebec.
Okay.
Kubi, EKR, Romeo S, Sierra T, Tango U, Uniform V, Victor W, Whiskey X, X-Ray Y, Yankee Z, Zulu.
It's like its own little language,
It really is.
designed for maximum clarity.
Yeah, and just to add to that,
Yeah.
some numbers have specific pronunciations too.
Oh, really?
Like 3 is tree, 9 is niner, and 0 is 0.
Interesting. So where do pilots actually use this the most,
Yeah.
in their everyday flying up?
Well, the article mentions that identifying specific airplanes using their registration numbers,
Uh-huh.
that's a very common use for the phonetic alphabet.
Okay.
In the U.S., most aircraft registrations start with the letter N.
Right. N number.
Exactly, N number. And these are unique identifiers, like a license plate for a car.
So if an air traffic controller needs to talk to a specific aircraft,
Right.
like simply the registration is N747PT,
Okay.
would they say November 747 Papa Tango?
No, they would use the phonetic alphabet for the letter.
Oh, okay. So they would say November Sierra Foxtrot 7 Papa Tango.
Exactly, yeah.
I see.
And these N numbers aren't tiny little things either.
Right.
They're painted or stuck onto the plane in big letters and numbers.
Oh, so they can see them from far away.
Exactly. So that air traffic control and other pilots can easily identify the plane even when it's in the air.
Wow. So it's not just about sounding official.
Right.
It's like a real safety thing.
It is a safety mechanism.
Having this standardized alphabet really helps to avoid misunderstandings,
Oh, yeah.
especially with different languages and accents,
Exactly.
which is super important when you're dealing with something as critical as flying.
It's a great example of how a specialized field develops a really precise way of communicating to minimize risk.
Yeah, and this phonetic alphabet, it's like a critical part of keeping the skies safe.
Absolutely.
So what's interesting is that this little detail, this
Mhm.
phonetic alphabet,
Mm-hmm.
plays such a big role in aviation safety.
Right.
And make sure that everyone's speaking the same language no matter where they come from.
Exactly. And if you think about the bigger picture,
Yeah.
it makes you wonder what other fields out there need this kind of perfect communication.
Right.
What kind of unique languages or codes do they use?
Yeah, they're like secret languages for brain surgeons or something.
Exactly. And how important are those codes to making sure things run smoothly and safely?
Hmm. That's really something to think about.
It is.
Well, thanks for going on this deep dive with us.
My pleasure.
It's been fascinating.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, that's all for today.